So I'm starting my weight loss journey video blog. On the upside, right now I'm currently down 38 pounds, I believe. I think I'm 2 pounds away from 40 pounds. And if I could back up just a little bit to explain how I got to a 40-pound weight loss currently, it was kind of by accident. So, the week of the Super Bowl, my body started talking to me and started saying things that I did not like. And if I could back up a little bit further than that, I ran out of my medication, did not want to go back to the doctor for blood pressure and diabetes medication, did not want to go back to the doctor and have them tell me, Jana, you gained all your weight back and you're completely unhealthy right now. I didn't want to hear any of that. So I just didn't go and did not get my prescriptions refilled and ran out of blood pressure and diabetes medication. So at this point, 3 months later, we're now the week of the Super Bowl, and my body is saying things like, hey, we need some help. And I'm like ignoring it the whole time. So the first couple days of that week, the week before the Super Bowl, I started getting some numbness in my face. So if I could draw a picture for you, my heart is on this side of my body, and the pain or the numbness literally was like this. This hole where I'm drawing my finger was completely numb. And it was just like tingling, it was numb, it was just weird, like, and it just would not go away. It was, I wake up, it's tingling, I'm working, it's tingling, I wash dishes, it's tingling, whatever's going on is still tingling. And so at this point, I'm like, okay, and so I kind of ignored it, and moved on with life. And then the second symptom I faced that week was the headache. I got a serious headache. It was the worst headache I've ever had in my life. Like, it literally felt like somebody was like stabbing me in the back of my head. And it was enough to like make me just, I had to go to sleep. Like, it was one of those headaches where you can't shake it. There's no Tylenol strong enough in the world. I just had to go to sleep and try to sleep it off. The next day after the headache, I ended up with a sharp pain, and this is still the side of my body where my heart is. I had a sharp pain going through my neck. If I can draw it, it looked like this right here. And I remember it's just a shooting pain. I was just like, it was just one of those things where it just kept hitting me, and I just didn't understand what it was, why it was, but I ignored it like everything else because I was in complete denial about what my body was saying to me. And then the last symptom, which actually is what sent me to the emergency room, um, I was coming back from Walgreens, and Walgreens is literally like 2 seconds away from my house. And I was coming back from there, and I have to make a right turn to turn into my subdivision. And I was using my left hand to, whip it. And so I was trying to whip it, and I couldn't get my arm up. And I remember trying to whip, and I was like, oh my God. And I had to immediately grab the steering wheel with the other arm and yank it and get turned into my neighborhood. I pulled into my driveway and burst into tears, and I was like, okay, this is the point where I can't ignore this anymore. It's time to go to the emergency room and for them to tell me that I'm dying. And so I ran into the house, grabbed my cell phone charger, came back out, and drove to the emergency room, which is literally less than 5 minutes away from my house. Drove up to the emergency room, and I'm crying the whole way there. Pull in, I tell them my symptoms, and when I tell them my symptoms, the lady's like, keep talking, and she picks up the phone, and she's like, shortness of breath. And then it's like somebody runs out super fast, and they're like, Mrs. Fitz, we'll see you now. And I was like, but I haven't even signed in. Like, they're like, no, it's fine, don't worry about the paperwork, just come on back. And I was like, oh my God, it must be bad because they're like rushing me in here. And so Um, Fast forward, they run a bunch of tests and then come back and they say, "Oh, you're fine." And I'm like, "No, I'm not. There's absolutely no possible way I'm fine because my face is numb. And it's not natural for your face to be numb. Like I knew that was a red flag." And they were like, "Yeah, your blood pressure is really high right now." And my blood sugar was a little bit elevated, but they were like, "You didn't have a stroke. There's no signs of any issues with your heart. So they souped up all my blood pressure and my diabetes medication and sent me home packing. A couple days later, I go to my doctor. They put me on a bunch of medication. And so now I am back on the wagon. All of the medication that they put me back on sent my body into shock. I literally spent from February the 5th, I think was Super Bowl, until sometime into April, um, with every side effect you can think of. So, on those commercials. So, on those commercials where they say the side effects of this medication are vomiting, nausea, diarrhea, headaches, blurred vision, this and that, and you may die. I literally had every single side effect of all of my medications, and it kept me in the bed throwing up. I could not keep food down for months, for 2 months. I could not keep food in my body, which benefited me a little bit because I ended up losing about 25 to 30 pounds during this time. Um, so that was the jump start to my weight loss. Since then, because I've been so sick from the medication, it's been extremely difficult to try to find a diet and exercise regimen that I can stick to because I've been so sick. But now I think my body is finally responding to all the medication. I went to my 3-month checkup with the doctor a couple days ago, and when I got my results in the mail, and they were like, "You are like have good health." I was like, "What? Me? What?" Like they've never said that to me ever. So, it said whatever you're doing, keep doing it because you're doing a really good job. So, and what I've been doing is walking, waist training, and water. That has been my focus. Yeah, I'm just keeping it as simple as possible. And when I say waist trainer, I literally went and got a $5 waist trainer from Walmart. I think it's Gold's Gym brand, and it was literally $5. It's just one of those ones that wrap around in Velcro. I waist train, I walk, and drink water. That's all I'm doing. And it's working. I'm going to show some pictures so you can see the kind of transformation of my body right now. It's good, and I'm happy about my progress. I'm very motivated right now as long as I can stay healthy and stay not on the toilet so much. Um, I will be able to have some success. My current goal right now is I don't have one. I'm living day by day, losing pound by pound. And I don't care where I end up. I don't care what my body ends up looking like. The only thing I care about is to get off of my blood pressure and diabetes medication. Both of those illnesses are caused by my weight gain, and by the things that I'm putting into my body and the lack of exercise in my life. So I have some very strict goals, not weight goals, but I have goals such as getting off of my medication, making exercise a part of my daily routine. Regardless of how I feel, I can always walk. Like as long as I have these legs that God gave me, I can always walk. And so I'm gonna walk. I'm gonna walk I don't care how I'm feeling, even on the bad PMS days where I'm like, I'm not having it today. I got up and walked. And it has tremendously made a huge difference on my metabolism, I'm just, my endorphins are flowing. I just always am feeling really good because I'm always exercising. I'm active. My body's not so stiff and hurting and in pain and all of that ickiness. And yeah, sorry to ramble on about that, but the struggle is real over here. I am probably the laziest person on earth. Like, honestly, I'm probably the laziest person on earth. So if I can get my fat butt up off the couch and walk, you can walk too. And drink water. Like, everybody hates water, but like water, the purpose of the way our bodies work is we flush them out. And you flush your body out, since our bodies are already whatever percent water, like 80 something percent water. You have to flush your body out. You have to flush out the toxins, flush out the sugar, flush out all of the excess crap that should not be sitting in our bodies. And so that's why water is so important with the weight loss, because you're constantly flushing out the body. So just drink the waters. Take these freaking sweeteners and throw them away and drink a glass of water. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so that's my first video. I will do a check-in with my weight, with body, with pictures, so you can see everything and see what I'm working with and see where I'm headed. Let's work.